Welcome back. It's season 2 of the ESG is Me podcast. This is the podcast where each week we dive into environmental, social and governance topics, showing how H&MV Engineering and our wider community are tackling sustainability and ESG.
This season we're switching it up and we'll have external guests and our colleagues joining us to give an outside perspective on environmental, social and governance. My name is Sinead.
My name's Kate. Here we go.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Season 2, Episode 3 of the ESG is Me podcast. Today we are going to be discussing the involvement of ESG within H&MV. My name is Lauren and I support our HR function in Ireland, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, Mike Collins. I'm the HSE Director for Ireland and Europe.
And Tom Flanagan, Group CSA Director, manage all the civil activities within the group.
So, Mike, do you want to tell us a little bit about how ESG formed within H&MV?
Yeah, and I suppose there's a funny story in a way. I remember getting a phone call from John Stokes at one stage, and he said to me, "Did you ever hear about ESG?" And I said, "No, that's the first I heard about it, to be honest." And that was going back well over 2 years ago, I suppose. So historically, we always would have been, I suppose, very proactive on corporate and social responsibility. But again, I suppose ESG probably brought it on another couple of levels as well. So having discussions with senior management, we decided to establish an initial committee to see where we were, what we needed to do. And that committee the first meeting of that committee was probably October, I'd say November, I think, of 2022. So it was, I think, Tom, were you part of that, Tom? Yeah?
No, I joined it probably in 23, I suppose. Yeah, we're, I suppose, on the civil side, the CSA side, we're very much involved in value engineering, sustainability, innovation all the time. So it probably just translated into that, yeah, very easy.
Yeah, because I suppose being from safety and environmental, the HSE team, I suppose that's a huge part of it, obviously, number one. But number two, I suppose, I was delighted to join the committee because, number one, I suppose I was in the business 10 years at that stage, and, you know, I suppose we knew the history of it and stuff, and we knew a lot of the people that might be suited and might be interested in joining the committee and making a contribution. So that initial meeting was just all about trying to get our ducks in a row in a way and making sure that, you know, the people that were in the room, that we had good diversity, that we had a lot of the departments covered as well and different teams, that we could all go forward on it. And then, of course, we had to look at the international dimension then as well. And the other dimension, I suppose, as well, is the cultural dimension, because obviously we're not just all white and Caucasian anymore. You know, we're from different nationalities and different experiences and different areas and different regions of the world, which is great. So it's just trying to incorporate, I suppose, all that into, I suppose, what ESG is at the moment, and again, what it's growing to as well as we move out into different regions, you know.
And I think we all got that phone call from John Stokes, you know, having heard of the term ESG. But it's definitely been a journey over the last kind of 2 to 3 years that we've been on. Yeah. Is there any highlight that stands out to you?
I suppose, in fairness, one of the things we did is that, like, I suppose we were a little bit smaller at the time. We tried to manage it within ESG, but we decided we needed someone with, you know, outside expertise, someone that experienced it, and someone with a real drive. So when Kate came on board, probably in June of 23, it was a huge stepping stone for us as regards getting someone on board that could drive it, you know, and had a dedicated role in what we needed to do, where we needed to get there. So in fairness, Kate, she's been brilliant in the team that she's built, number one. And then number two, I suppose one of the main initiatives we had last year was that whole ESG is Me, and that was started last year. And we did a huge amount of work on it.
Yeah, and definitely, I'd say Kate's introduction to the company was huge, because I remember the first, I suppose, chat I had about ESG was some reporting that Kate was after during the year, at the end of 2023, and we had all that information, I suppose, available for Kate. We were able to show her, bring her in the right direction where that information was available. Made her job very easy, and then we started seeing the value of it, I suppose. We were reporting all this anyway, but now we seen the value of it and where it was going to go, the end product. Yeah, I suppose as our part, I suppose the CSA part of the group, we're very much involved ESG wise, and I suppose sustainability, environmental, it comes part of our project. You know, when we're planning our projects, it's there anyway. We're coming to a different level now where I suppose our investors, our clients, everybody is looking for more visibility on the reporting side of it, you know. So that's very interactive at the moment.
I think a key highlight for myself as well, it's for our employees. I think we've kind of taken major steps forward and made improvements in creating a space for employees to kind of openly discuss kind of their sexual orientation, their disability, and learning difficulties and their mental health as well. So I think a lot has been done in that area, which has been really beneficial for us all.
Yeah, it has. And I suppose the other thing as well, and I know we've probably mentioned already, is because we are a growing organisation, it probably does help to attract a certain amount of people as well, especially younger people into the organisation. When we see that we're really proactive on the environmental space, the social space, and supporting local communities, and obviously on the governance as well, that the company, you know, is on a good
Forward thinking,
course.
Very much forward thinking,
Yeah,
looking to the future all the time.
It's really exciting time as well. Like there's lots of different opportunities to get involved within, so it's really nice. Yeah, lots of work to do in the area still, but we're definitely on the right.
A huge, and
right
like
road.
I suppose our committee, we meet quarterly, and you know, I suppose we all there are certain little workshops within that main committee then as well. So we all report back after the end of each quarter, see where we are, see where we need to get to as well, set new targets. And I suppose that's what it's all about realistically, is that if you know, setting the target, trying to meet it, hoping that you meet it. If you don't meet it, then obviously, you know, you have to reassess and see where you're not getting there.
Yeah, but I think part of the committee, Mike, definitely there's from across the full group now at this stage, because we've grown so much in the last few years. I think there's input from every division, all aspects of H&MV, which is good as well. And everybody gets their, I suppose, their bit of airtime, I suppose, to achieve our targets. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And as I say, look, contribution is the huge thing, you know, that everyone is contributing, and everyone, you know, I suppose a lot of people, we've onboarded a huge amount of, you know, really high caliber people in the last number of years, and they all have their own ideas on what they've seen possibly in other organisations as well, and their own ideas on how to drive it forward. Like they're all good things.
Definitely, yeah.
You know.
So Mike, do you want to tell us your role within the ESG committee?
Yeah, so Lauren, I suppose we as HSC Director for Ireland and Europe, obviously health and safety is dear to us. It's part of our core values. And again, it's great to be involved in it. I suppose my part is just making sure that any safety initiatives that we bring forward, obviously it's brief with the committee and it fits in with our goals and our own ESG goals as well. But of course, health and safety is a huge part of it. And then the whole environmental part as well, supported by Kate and the team, is great as well, because to be honest, it was probably a little bit like the poor relation up in Ferris a couple of years ago. And it's something that we really had to work on. We've worked on it a lot. Again, more to do. But I think we're in a pretty good space at the moment. But as regards reporting back from any environmental initiatives, or any health and safety targets that we have, obviously it's really, really important for, you know, safety and for the benefit of everyone in H&MV. And I suppose as an organisation, not only do we have to worry now about our own employees being safe, but also our contractors and our supply chain as well that work with us, and have been working successfully with us. But we have to ensure as well that they're in a safe space as well and they're working. So that's a lot to do with it.
Huge, massive, yeah. And Tom?
Yeah, I suppose the one thing that's been brought forward, I suppose, at ESG is we're nearly gone back to tendering stage now, looking at innovation. Innovation will be key to the whole ESG output of what H&MV do in our client sizes as well as our development side. So we take it back, we're always looking at new products, attending shows, looking what's new in the market. We look at our design then and see where we can implement, I suppose, new technology. Recently we've been, I suppose, looking at the faster fix option in our rebar supply. We have a conference or a day coming up in the factory during October. Precast elements, I suppose, within the industry. It's something we set up a committee on last year as well to look at innovation within the industry. And we've successfully installed our first, I suppose, precast transformer in a project in the UK, which has been a success. that's huge for the business, a huge cost saving, huge, I suppose, savings on transport, on labour, on working at heights. There's just multiple, I suppose, innovation in that just that aspect. And we're always looking again at innovation. We have a team, I suppose, looking forward, and we implement that back into our design, as I say, through our early project development stages, looking at pre-construction stage, where we can implement those new products and new innovation. It's constantly ongoing.
Yeah, it is, and I suppose the innovation thing, you're right, Tom, is a huge thing, because I even see there now, and we're all going through it, I suppose, in the organisation, is the whole digitalisation process. So it just means, from a sustainability point of view, obviously, it's more efficient. You're using an awful lot less paper, which is always a good thing as well. But I suppose the other thing as well is that you can look at trends. So if everything is digitalised, you can look at trends of where things are going. And from a safety culture point of view, we have to look at, the next big thing as regards, I suppose, trying to embed our safety culture in our existing one. Number one, trying to embed it in the new regions that we're going out to. And number two, then trying to improve that as well, because, different cultures have different ways of doing things or whatever. So it's an important one for us. And as I say, the innovation is a huge part of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I suppose that leads into education on sustainability, ESG, and we've rolled that out which is happening throughout the company. I suppose from that committee, everybody from those leaders within the committee are taking that back to their divisions and educating our people, I suppose, on the pluses and the minuses involved in that. So I think education is key, throughout the company, how we'll develop and get everybody to buy into it, because it's one thing H&V are very good at, is when we roll out new incentives, everybody buys in, once they're aware of it, I suppose, the benefits.
And I suppose, just thinking about it, I suppose, even stuff like our apprenticeship scheme, a lot of the people that come to us obviously from local areas and stuff, and that's important as well. And getting in, as you mentioned, Tom, to the likes of schools and doing talks in schools. And I know we've a few things that we've done as well, as we've brought secondary school people to our sites to show them what we actually do. And of course, because we're in the energy space, for want of a better word, it's a good news story of, we're involved in battery storage, obviously, so all these things are helping towards sustainability.
Absolutely, and
so it's a kind of an awareness around that as well.
Yeah, and I think it's helping kind of more females get involved within the industry as well, getting out earlier to the schools. And we've done a lot of school talks actually, and brought school students out to our sites, and we have college graduates coming to our sites down in Cork now as well. So it's really nice to get engaged with them at that level as well.
Yeah, brilliant. No, that's all good.
My role within the ESG committee then is the social aspect. So there's two key areas we've been focusing on for the social, and that's attracting and retaining our employees. So it's important that we are attracting top talent into the company and retaining the talent that we have as well, and making sure that they feel fulfilled and valued in the job that they're doing. So it's we've been focusing on the employee experience and how we can make that as best as we can. So the D&I aspect as well. So we've been focusing on our journey with EDI over the last 12 months. So we've partnered with Irish Centre of Diversity. So we're in the process of partnering with them. Our senior management team recently underwent diversity and inclusion training, which was a great step for us, because again, these topics are evolving and they're so new. It's important that we do stay at the top and forefront to make sure that we're doing the best that we can for our employees.
Yeah, that was a great, I suppose, education again. It's understanding what's required. We're all aware of it. I suppose that bit of education brings us further into the whole development of it.
And I think we've done a lot. The first ESG month that we did within H&MV as well, that was all about, I suppose it was so new to us at the time, that was a key priority for the ESG committee, was raising awareness about ESG for the first ESG month that we did. And I think it went down really well, even just the small little things that you can do at home within work to have big impacts.
Yeah, it has. And actually, I think the HR team drove a lot of it, was that whole cultural awareness. That the different regions that we're going in, and people in different regions where they are, whether it is in continental Europe or whether it is in India or Croatia, and getting us to understand, even their language and their customs and stuff like that. Really, really good stuff.
Same as you said on the safety side, it's definitely something we are focusing on a lot more to make sure, we can build a culture together globally.
And the industry we're in, I suppose, the solar industry in particular, I suppose most people within the business now are looking at where solar can be adapted into their households, air to water, looking at that innovation again. And there's savings to be made in it. So it's, before, would we ever have looked at things like that? Probably not.
Yeah.
It always has been a foreign matter. So, that was always good, yeah. So adapting to that new technology is key, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I suppose one of the topics we have spent a lot of time over the last 12 to 18 months on has been kind of mental health and raising awareness around that and creating a space for employees to feel comfortable to share their concerns or their issues with us. And I think one thing that was really nice was the rollout of our EAP programme with Health Assured. So that was a great tool for our employees with that 24/7 support.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, look, being parochial, I suppose, and bringing it back to a health and safety perspective, like we have a huge amount of people on sites.
Yeah.
Again, our own people and supply chain personnel, and they all bring their own challenges with them to work every day. So I suppose it's a challenge for us to make sure that people when they are put to work, that they're in the right frame of mind, and if they're not, or if they're not feeling well, that can have an adverse effect from a safety point of view, and that's something that's the space, I suppose, that we're trying to work in at the moment as regards trying to understand that and help people, and it's something that we're probably launched a pilot program at the moment in one of our sites in Dublin, where we have kind of like a wellness room. So if someone is having a bad day, or if they need to take a private phone call or anything like that, they can go in there, they can just take their own time, their own space, and it's a really good initiative. So it's something that hopefully
it's so good to roll out. I mean, everyone has good and bad days, and it's good that H&MV as an employer that we do recognise this and employees feel supported throughout that.
Yeah, I suppose it's about me time, isn't it? It's, once you leave your home in the morning, nobody knows what's happening behind that closed door. Yeah,
absolutely.
If they bring that into work, it could affect your safety issues. You don't know what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
It's definitely very prevalent at the moment.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. And then, like, I suppose from people, I'm speaking for myself, maybe that might be more experienced, for the want of a better word, but for young people coming into the to the workplace now at the moment, they're bringing there's pressures out there that I'll say myself and Tom wouldn't have been experienced. Maybe you're a younger lad, you're okay.
Poor Tom.
But exactly, like there's an awful lot of stuff that goes on, pressures with young people and stuff like that, and it can get tough. Social media, like
take that on its own. It's a huge,
bullying in the workplace, all that kind of stuff. Like it's a huge amount in it, a huge amount of pressure. So again, it's just to try and to let people know, lads, that there's help out there. That at least you're not there on your own, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And making sure that there's either someone on the end of another phone, whether it's one of ourselves in the committee, or someone else if they need external help, and hopefully people will avail of it, and I think they do.
Yeah, no, they definitely do.
Definitely, yeah. We're just, I suppose we've grown over the last few years hugely, and new people coming into the business. It's just getting used to the systems, procedures. They could be overwhelmed very easily, and it's just watching that, I suppose. And the mentor program probably works very well for us. The mentoring system,
Yeah, that's huge.
And I think our partnership with the Lighthouse Club will definitely be beneficial for our employees based on site, and the mental health first aid training that our committee members have done as well. Like that, it's been excellent, really, for what it's done for us.
Definitely.
Yeah, it is, and fair dues to everyone who volunteered to be a mental health first aider, because it's probably not an easy thing to do. It probably takes a certain skill set to be able to sit down and listen to someone, and listen to their problems, because I know everyone wouldn't be suited to it, and so look, well done to them for stepping up on it, and as I say, hopefully we can make things better from a health and well-being space, I suppose, from now on, with more people coming into the business.
Definitely, yeah.
I suppose another key initiative that we're doing on the mental health space as well is we've partnered with Elephant in the Room with Brent Pope. So we have an elephant going to be based in our Limerick office.
A real elephant.
No. Couldn't get insurance for a near elephant.
So it'll be based in our Limerick office, and I suppose it's to address the stigma around mental health awareness, and that it's okay to talk about the elephant in the room, and I suppose it's a really nice idea. The artwork on the elephant has been developed in-house by H&MV, so we did we opened it out to employees to design the artwork. So a number of suggestions were put forward. So I think it'll be another really good initiative as well.
Yeah, I've been at some of his talks. He's very interactive, I suppose, Brent
Good.
himself. So it'll be good to see what, the outcome of that, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and as you say, I learn. I suppose the nice part about that is that it was developed and designed by our
in-house,
own
yeah.
staff. And as I say, hopefully we'll be able to, if he's not too big, we might be able to move him around to different sites as well. And get everyone to buy into it. Yeah, it's a great idea, great initiative.
Definitely, yeah.
I think the ESG has evolved so well within H&MV to date has been the buy-in from our teams and our employees globally. Across all the initiatives that we've done, we always see great engagement from employees and always willing to put through suggestions for new ideas. So I really think that's what has been key to driving its success to date as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose one of the other things that did happen is that I know the initial committee, we probably had maybe 6 members in the committee, whereas that has changed now. I think it's doubled to maybe 12, 14, I think, at the moment, which is great because they're the people that are involved now, as I mentioned earlier on, that they're really engaged in it, but they're from different aspects of the business, so they're bringing their own ideas and they're bringing feedback as well from the other teams as well and what they see, which is great. So I think that's probably one of the things that we've really broadened it into the regions as well.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. And as you said, just tipped on that, Mike, regions, like we have people from Germany, from Sweden, everybody's involved, and getting the different cultures involved in it, which is key as well, because every culture has their own innovation, I suppose, or something new within their regions that we need to adapt as well too. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
And as you said, the committee members have grown now as well, but I think it's there's a strong commitment from the senior leadership team as well to drive forward. And I think our new investors, the ESG funds, it's a testament to the work that's been done, and I suppose that they see the benefits of that as well within H&MV.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and it is great to see that support, and I know I've been involved for the last year or two that it is very much in the forefront of their thoughts as regards ESG, and they're very proactive on it, which is great because it just means that both organisations are aligned as well. So it is. So yeah, and they've helped us a lot, I suppose, as regards getting set up and getting the right.
I suppose that
support,
positive feedback from them is crucial as well.
Hugely,
Be able to feed that back down to the teams.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's the way forward.
Yeah, and like they are engaged in different other organisations as well. So they may have a different perspective on it as well, which is always great to hear because
100%.
there could be other innovations, as I said, we could adapt as well from other companies.
I suppose their systems, the way they operate as well, all that inclusiveness was very good as well for us.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And on the governance piece and with CSRD reporting coming up, how do you see that evolving within the company?
Yeah, again, I suppose it's something that we have to work on. Again, I know Kate and the team have been working hard on our ESG reporting and CSRD reporting as well. And that has been, I suppose, our initial one would have been launched in January this year, actually. So we're kind of a little bit ahead in the posse, I suppose, and a lot of people in the industry at the moment, which is great to see. But I suppose from a legal point of view, the challenge for us now is getting our supply chain involved in that as well, because from a reporting perspective, the information that we report on can only be really we can only rely on that good information if we have good information coming back from our supply chain.
Yeah.
So we've worked and we are working really, really hard on that. And I know we have a supply chain event happening next week actually, and that's something that I know Kate and the team as well will be bringing to our supply chain partners as regards their responsibilities now legally going forward. So it is, I suppose, we're from a H&MV perspective, I think we're doing really, really well in it, and we've been really, really proactive on it. But again, the challenge now is to bring our supply chain with us as well. So.
Yeah, I suppose we're going to discuss our carbon footprint of that as well next week, looking at new technology again within the industry. We're going to present that to our supply chain and get feedback from them if it's something that can be easily transitioned into to roll that out in 2025. So we're giving our supply chain some time to digest it and bring it on board. I suppose our supply chain across the group really at the moment is a huge part of the business because we're only as good as our supply chain at the end of the day, and the selecting of our supply chain is key, and we're very much focused on that, and I think our clients respect that as well because we're so stringent on how we bring people into the business, across the business.
Yeah, absolutely, and as I say, that whole legal perspective as regards, that there's an onus on you as an organisation to do your reporting, I suppose, to get that message across, isn't it?
Correct, yeah.
To supply chain, because some of them, especially some of the smaller ones, may not be aware of it.
Yeah.
And it is coming down the track. It's coming pretty quick, and it's there's an onus on us to make sure that they're aware of it.
Yeah, of course.
So I know, as I said, the team are working really, really hard and putting together packs and information packs on that. So hopefully we'll be.
Yeah, and I think our digitalisation journey as well over the last 12 to 18 months will definitely help us with the development of our systems in-house, and as you said, being able to highlight those metrics and our objectives and see trends across them will definitely help us going forward with that compliance piece.
Absolutely.
Huge. Yeah, those supply chain events, there's another one coming up in the UK in the middle of early November. They're huge events for us to get our message across. Get our feedback, as Lauren said, what our feedback from, say, our digitalisation information, and feed that back to the supply chain partners as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huge.
What are you most excited about within the ESG campaign?
Yeah, from the CSA side, it's about innovation, everybody buying into it, I suppose, and looking at new technology. That's key. Getting better, delivering for our clients, I suppose. Our clients, getting the feedback from our clients that, the new innovation we're bringing in is energizing the projects. We're leaders in the field, all that. And getting that feedback from our clients is key, I suppose, as we go forward, and continuation of it. And that grows, our people who are in the business grow on the back of that, because they get feedback on positive innovation. So we're always looking forward.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think one area I'm excited about is our EDI journey. I think we're still within the early stages of our journey, but it's definitely one I'm excited to see grow within the company as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I know from our own perspective, and historically, we would have teamed up with a number of different organisations as regards our carbon footprint and calculating our carbon footprint, and then offsetting that. But now we're in a different space, because we've partnered up with Home Tree here in Ireland, and done some really good work with them as regards replanting natural woodland, natural Irish woodland, and that's really, really good, because it just means it's actually tangible, that you can actually see it, you can go out, you can plant it. I know there was I think a busload of people left the office in Limerick there going back a couple of months ago, planting trees, and it was a great day out.
Great day, yeah.
But at least you can see it, it's tangible, you can see that, for whatever the amount of, we'll say, carbon that we would have emitted possibly last year, that at least you can see that we've done something about it. And it's not just paying lip service to it. I suppose that it is genuine, and that's very important to us.
I suppose there was another innovation that John Stokes brought in last year, about how we built a substation 5 years ago to how we're building it now, looking at measuring the carbon footprint back then to now. So that'll be huge. I suppose once we see the metrics on that as well, it'll be huge for the business to promote it to our clients as well.
Yeah, making it more sustainable, more environmentally friendly.
Oh, that's good,
That'll be huge, absolutely.
Exciting times ahead, guys.
Exciting times ahead, Lauren, absolutely.
Onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards, yeah.
Thank you, Mike and Tom. Thanks to everyone for watching.